Good morning students. Thank you so much students for clicking on my video. I am your Nagini ma'am chemistry mentor. In today's section I am going to discuss about the Froth flotation method students. This topic is from general principles and processes of isolation of elements. Nana. It is the topic from 2nd PUC or 12th class. Understanding students. After completed my topic students, you will get the clear idea on this topic Nana. So first of all I am going to discuss about Froth flotation method. So this is the method belongs to the concentration of the ore students. So Froth flotation method is used to Froth flotation method is used to concentration of the metal sulfide ore students. Concentration of the metal sulfide ores. Metal sulfide ores. Clear this one? What is the concentration students? What is meant by concentration of the ore? What is the concentration of the ore? Concentration of the ore is nothing but it is a process of removal of impurities from the ore students. What is the concentration of the ore? Concentration of the ore. What is concentration of the ore students? The process of removal of impurities. The process of removal of impurities. Clear? So the process of removal of impurities from the ore. Impurities from the ore. It is nothing but concentration of the ore. Understanding students? So by this method, Froth flotation method, you are removing the impurities from the metal sulfide ore students. Are you clear? What is the concentration? It is a process of removal of impurities. Correct? It is a one of the method belongs to the concentration of the ore. By using this method, we are removing the impurities from the metal sulfide ores. Are you clear? Removing the impurities from the metal sulfide ore students. Understanding Nana? So that is nothing but Froth flotation method. So here in metal sulfide ore students, particularly in metal sulfide ores, metals metals are lighter weight particles students. What about metal students? Lighter weight particles. Understanding? So lighter weight particles. And next coming to the impurities. Impurities are students. These are the heavier weight particles. Understanding? These are heavier weight particles. Clear this one? These are the heavier weight particles. Understood, Amma? So metal sulfide ores, in metal sulfide ores, metals are lighter weight particles, impurities are heavier weight particles. What are the examples students? Metal sulfide ores, example students, what are the examples we can take? Examples: copper pyrite and zinc blend. Copper pyrite. Copper pyrite. Next example, zinc blend. Zinc blend. What is the copper pyrite formula students? Copper pyrite formula CuFeS2. Zinc blend formula ZnS. Understanding students? What is the formula? CuFeS2 and zinc blend formula ZnS. Understanding Amma? So from this metallic sulfide ores, in this metallic sulfide ores students, okay, metals are lighter weight particles, impurities are heavier weight particles students. Okay na? So from this sulfide ore students, we are removing the impurities. Okay na? So that is the method of Froth flotation method. So for that Froth flotation method, how to remove the impurities? See here students, in this method, here I am taking one beaker. See here. Okay, now here inside one rotating paddle will be there students. One rotating paddle. So this is the rotating paddle. Okay, that means to stir the solution. Here what we are taking inside, or solution we are taking. What we are taking, students? Or solution. Okay, this is which one, students? Or solution. Understanding, amma? So this is the war solution you are taking. This is the rotating paddle, students. This is the rotating paddle, paddle, nana, rotating paddle. So like stirrer type, okay na? So rotating paddle will be there. So once we got the ore from the earth, nana, okay na, ore, once we got the ore from the earth, so first we have to do crushing, students. So for by crushing, ore is converted into powder. Are you clear? So by crushing powder you will get, this is the ore powder. Now just you add water, then you will get the ore solution. Understanding, students? Ore solution you will get. So that ore solution you have to take into the beaker. Okay na? So in beaker, this is the stirrer type, students. It is a rotating paddle. So just to stir the solution, nana. So to this ore solution, what we are adding? See here, to the ore solution, first we are adding the frothers. What we are adding, students? Frothers we are adding. Next one, froth stabilizers you have to add. Froth stabilizers. Okay, froth stabilizers. Next one, surfactants. Surfactants, or what we will call another name, collectors. Okay, collectors we should add. And next one, depressants we have to add. What we have to add? Depressants. Understanding? So this all when we added to the ore solution. So first of all, what we got the ore from the earth, by crushing that ore is converted into powder. So to the ore powder, just you add water, then you will get the ore solution. That you have to take here. To the ore solution, what we are adding? First one, frothers, froth stabilizers, surfactants or collectors, students, depressants. So these are all line wise we have to add. So why, what is the main role of frothers? What are the examples of frothers? Why froth stabilizers, what doing? Okay na? And next, what are the examples? That all I am going to discuss now, students. Okay nama? So first of all, I am going to discuss the frother, students. Okay na? So frothers. So when we add the frother, students, see students. So first one is which one? Frothers. Correct? So frothers. So what is the main purpose, students? Frothers. What doing frothers? Frothers help to make froth, students. That means these are giving the froth. Understanding? Frothers, they gives the froth. Are you clear? They gives the froth, students. Understanding? Or foam. They gives the froth or foam. What are the examples, students? Here what examples we can take? Pine oil, camphor oil, we can take examples. Pine oil or camphor oil. Understanding? So camphor oil also we can take examples. So whenever this pine oil or camphor oil is added to the ore solution, students, what will happen? Froth, foam is produced. Understanding? Foam is produced, students. Are you clear? So froth is produced. Understanding, nana? See here what is there, students? Here one rotating paddle is there. So when after added frothers, here what we are adding first? Frothers we are adding, correct? Frothers we are adding. So whenever frothers we added to the ore solution, what will happen? Foam is produced, correct? So that's why here that foam is like this here. See students, that foam, this is the foam, students. Okay, this is the froth or foam. Understanding? So this is the froth. Okay, froth is produced, and here by stirring this solution, this is a stirrer or rotating paddle. Now just you rotate this one, then when we are stirring this solution or solution, what will happen? By the addition of frothers, you will get the froth. Understanding, students? Froth you will get. Clear this one? This is the froth. Okay, now see students, frothers completed. After that, what we should add? Froth stabilizers have to add, correct? What is the second one, students? Froth stabilizers. So what is the main purpose, students? Froth stabilizers, what doing this froth stabilizers? They increases the life period of the froth, students. Are you clear? So they increases the life period of the froth. Life period of the froth. Clear this one? They increases the life period of the froth. So here first, by the addition of pine oil or camphor oil, first froth is produced. Next one, to increase the life period of the froth, students, we are using froth stabilizers. Here we can take examples, Nana. Examples, cresol. We can take cresol or aniline. Understanding? So these examples we can take as froth stabilizers. Understanding? So by the addition of cresol or aniline to the ore solution, students, what will happen? What is the froth is formed by the addition of frothers. That foam life period is increases, students. Are you clear? That means it is stabilizing the froth. Understanding? So that means it is increasing the life period of the froth, students. Clear? This is about the froth stabilizers. Next we are adding the surfactants. Surfactants or collectors. So what are the surfactants or collectors, students? By the addition of surfactants to the ore solution, students, what will happen? What are the ore particles are there? Those particles are adsorbed on the surface of the froth. Are you clear? So the ore particles are adsorbed on the surface of the froth, students. Clear? Surfactants. Understanding? So when we added the surfactants to the ore solution, the ore particles adsorb on the surface of the froth. That means the ore particles adsorb on the surface of the froth. On the surface of the froth, students. So what are the examples we can take here? Example, students, sodium ethyl xanthate, or sodium lauryl sulfide. Sodium lauryl sulfate. So these examples we can take, students. Understanding? So whenever surfactants are added to the ore solution, what will happen? The ore particles adsorb on the surface of the froth. Why the ore particles are moving to the surface of the froth, students? Why? Because surfactants, Nana, mainly they are making the ore particles as hydrophobic in nature, students. So they are converting the ore particles into hydrophobic in nature. Hydrophobic is nothing but that is water repellent. Are you clear? Hydrophobic. Hydro means water, repellent means phobic means repellent. Are you clear? So that means it is making the ore particles as a water repellent or hydrophobic in nature. Hence the ore particles, what will happen? They move away from the water, and they can mix with the and first of all, that ore particles are adsorbed on the foam and then mix with the foam. Then afterwards they can float on the water. Are you clear this one? Okay, now so first main thing is what? Why ore particles are going to upward, students? Because of surfactants. What is the reason? Surfactants making the what doing, students? Surfactants, they makes the ore, they convert the ore particles into hydrophobic in nature. Okay, na? Hydrophobic in nature. So hydrophobic means what, students? Hydro is nothing but water. Okay, phobic means repellent. Are you clear? So it is a repellent, water repellent. So that means the ore particles will become water repellent. So that's why these particles are move away from the water because they are repellent in a water repellent. So that's why the ore particles will move away from the water. Correct? Na? So the hence the ore particles move away from the water. Move away from the water, students. Away from the water. Okay, now water, and it is absorbed on the foam, and ore particles absorb on the foam and mix with the foam. Clear, students? Mix with the foam, because we know that the ore particles are lighter weight particles when compared to the impurities, correct? So that's why the ore particles are mixed with the foam, okay na, and they are absorbed on the foam and mixed with the foam, and later they floats on the water. Clear? So then next they floats on the water. Clear, the students? Floats on the water. Understanding, Amma? Floats on the water, students. So this is nothing but surfactants. So what is the main purpose, students? Surfactants, by the addition of surfactants, what will happen? The ore particles adsorb on the surface of the froth. Okay, now why the ore particles are adsorbed on the surface of the froth? Why they are going to upward, students? What is the main reason? Whenever surfactants are added to the ore solution, students, what will happen? They convert the ore particles into water repellent. So that is nothing but hydrophobic in nature. So that's why the ore particles move away from the water, and then they can adsorb on the foam, and next mix with the foam, they can float on the foam. Are you clear? This one, float with the foam along with the water. Understanding? Floats on the, and the floats on the water, students. Clear, this one? So this is nothing but surfactant, students. Clear? So first of all, we and first what we added, students? Frothers we added. So frothers what doing? They gives the froth. Clear? And next, what are the examples? Pine oil, camphor oil. So when we added this ore to the ore solution, what will happen? Froth is developed, and after that, that froth should be stable for a long time. So that means to increase the life period of the foam, what we are adding? Stabilizers we are adding. Froth stabilizers. What are the examples? Cresol or aniline. After this, what we are adding? Collectors we are adding, or surfactants. So when we added surfactants, what will happen? It is converting the ore particles as a water repellent. So that's why the particles are move away from the water, and they can float on the, and they will float on the water. They can absorb on the foam, and they mix with the foam. Are you clear, this one? And also they are very lighter particles, lighter weight particles, correct? And next one, last, what we added, students? Depressants we added, correct? So what we added, Nana? Depressants. Understanding? See here, what is the last one? Depressants. Depressants. So what is the main purpose of depressants, students? Why we are adding depressants? So depressants, when we added, students, which increases the depressants which decreases the flotation of ore particles. Okay, now so they decreases the flotation of ore particles. Flotation of ore particles. Clear, this one? They decreases the flotation of ore particles, because we know that the ore particles are float on the water. Are you clear? So that the depressants, that means that we have to collect, so that's why it is the floating of the ore particles on the water, it decreases, students. Whenever depressants added, what will happen? The flotation of the ore particles decreases. What are the examples we can take, students? Depressants example, students: aqueous sodium cyanide. What are the examples? Aqueous sodium cyanide. Understanding, students? So these are we have to add, Nana. So after that, now see, students, here what I discussed here ore, see here, this is the beaker. Now here what we are taking? Ore solution we are taking. First what we added? Frothers we added. After that, what we added? Froth stabilizers we added, correct? Froth stabilizers. And after that, what we added? Surfactants, depressants, correct? Surfactants and depressants we added, correct? Depressants we added. Now see, students, when we added frothers, what will happen? Froth is produced, and froth stabilizers what doing? They increase the life period of the frothers. And next one, surfactants. Surfactants, why we added? Because to the here, what are the ore particles are there? Pure ore particles. The ore particles are adsorbed on the surface of the foam, because their surfactants are converting the ore particles as a water repellent. So that's why they are moved away from the water, students. So the what are the ore particles are there? So that ore particles are adsorbed on the surface of the foam. Are you clear? This is the which particles? These are all which particles, students? They adsorb on the foam. Clear this one, on the foam, and they are float on the surface of the water, students. They float on the surface of the water because they are water repellent, no? So next one, these ore particles are collected. These ore particles, students, are you clear? So these are all which particles, students? Ore particles. Okay, now these all ore particles you are collecting into the another beaker, students. Here you are taking one more beaker here. Now these ore particles are collected here. Okay, now so these are all ore particles. Understanding, students? Okay, now dried under sunlight. So dried under sunlight, then you will get the ore particles, students. Understanding? So dried under sunlight, what will happen here? Only ore particles will be there, metallic ore. Here there is no impurities. What are the impurities are there? They settle down here only. Understanding? So afterwards it is removed, from their respective hole, students. Understanding? These are the impurities, because heavier weight particles now, so that's why they settled down only, bottom of the beaker. Clear? So here it dried under sunlight, then here you will get the only pure, what you will get here? Only metallic ore particles you will get. Metallic ore you will get. Understanding? So you will get the only metallic ore. So here no impurities. Clear this one? Here no impurities. Understood, Amma? So this is about the froth flotation method, students. Clear this, students? So here what examples, everything. So here every point is important, students. In the froth flotation method, it is used to concentration of the metal sulfide ore. What is the concentration? Removal of impurities from the ore. So that means metals. What are the examples we can take? Metal sulfide ores. So like copper pyrite to zinc blend. So like this you have to take. For the ore solution, what we should add? Frothers, froth stabilizers, surfactants, collectors and depressants. Understanding, students? So this is the froth flotation method, Nana. I hope you like this video, students. If you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe my channel, students. Please support me. Thank you very much, students.